Yo, welcome to an episode of Superkick Podcast. I'm your host, Ringside P. I know you guys already checked out that pre-recorded episode of Monday Night Raw from Saudi. So, let's talk about some stuff that stood out. Before I get to that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, comment, give me feedback, check out the real shorts, TikToks, Superkick store. Check me out on Table Lights and Bumps, y'all. I'm doing everything. I'm everywhere. Let's get into the show. Well, we had a number one contenders match to see who's going to be challenging Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. This is the first time I was like, man, I didn't know who was who in the match because everyone had on the full body gear. It's something I wasn't used to seeing. So that was different. But when it kind of got down to the end, the remaining, don't mind these. Yeah, I got kids. I had a kid. So when it got down to the last, when it got to the Io Sky. No, actually, when it got down to the last four. When it's Io, Lyra Valkyria, Jade and Bianca, that was good. I am tired of them constantly trying to, and it's like they're rushing it. This Jade and Bianca like split in this feud. Like we've been invested into, we waited for this long, and now y'all rushing it. It doesn't feel like natural. But anyway, we get down to the last two: Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky, German suplex on the apron. Lyra falls out the ring. Falls onto the floor. No more contender. Io Sky. So, we already know, man. It's going to be Liv Morgan. She going to win. Io Sky doesn't have a chance. Even though Io Sky is phenomenal. And I definitely think she deserves to be women's champion again with a better push than she had when she was champion in Damage Control. But we'll see what happens, though. Get into my number two thing. I mentioned also Jay and Bianca, how they feel like they're rushing that split. But they planting the seeds for it. But I just like the seeds that they planting. I felt it could have happened naturally. And I feel like they're forcing it now and they're rushing to get to the point to maybe we might see it like Royal Rumble. Or it is WrestleMania type match. If we can really get Jade Cargill up to Bianca Belair's status and level. But we'll see what happens, y'all. Other thing too that I like for Monday Night Raw is becoming full circle. We saw that The Miz got kidnapped by the Y6. They holding him prisoner. We got Uncle Howdy. But I don't know why they even called him Uncle Howdy because he wasn't dressed like Howdy. It was Bo Dallas. So it was Bo Dallas had Miz. And they so I guess from before, in the past where Miz was talking to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Talking about, I'm gonna make you guys legends. Gonna make you famous. More popular than your dads or whatever the case may be. And I like how they integrated that into this storyline. So that's cool. It's like a full circle moment between the Miz and the Wyatts. It's cool. I like it. We still got more New Day drama next week. 10th anniversary of the formation of the New Day. Do we just start playing sad music now? Do we get our flowers ready and our condolences, send our condolences to the New Day because it's about to be a funeral, y'all. This is the end of the New Day. I hope now, but man, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping not for the end of the New Day. Next thing I'm gonna get into is my Super Kicks shoutouts, right? Last time I did Lip Gloss and Ladders. Make sure you guys check them out. This week, I'm doing a homie. Pause. I'm not doing a homie. This week, for the Super Kids shout out, I'm shouting out Just Land Down. Real cool dude. He does great reels, great content. He does over there on Twitch. He games. He gets stuff over on YouTube. I see sometimes he does uses 2K24, do the match cards, for the PLEs and stuff like that. So that's cool. Does a lot of different stuff on IG. You can ask him questions. He answers the questions. Real cool guy. He's out here just grinding. Good content creator. Some of the best stuff that I like from him is he used to sit down and pretend like he was writing to the superstars. Like he wrote to Rey Mysterio, "Dear Rey, your son is a dirtbag," stuff like that. Or, "Dear Roman, Soul's out here and he's trying to pretend like he's the tribal chief." That's just great, and it's real original content, and he's just a dope dude, man. So make sure you check out Just Laying Down, IG, YouTube. I think TikTok. He's on Twitch too as well. He got merch too. I saw. He got an affiliated link. Dude, you gotta hook me up with an affiliated link, man. So I get me some merch sales too. Yeah, holla at me. But yeah, Just Laying Down, cool people, man. Make sure you check them out. Moving right along. Get into bloodline stuff. Use bloodline business is the last thing, but in this case, not so much. Jey Uso. Is his aura bigger than Roman Reigns right now, Pause. It's a debatable question. Like you saw what he's been doing when he goes overseas. The crowd go crazy. You saw the same thing in Saudi. We saw that Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso came out first, then Jey came out, and the whole crowd going crazy. So Jey Uso definitely his own man. Love it, man. I love to see it. And if we watch the storyline went more so from, like feeling like a movie, like cinema. And there's still parts of it that feels like that, but there have been more recent parts that feel like a sitcom. Like, man, you're not family. And now it's like, it doesn't matter if you're blood or not blood. Sammy, you are family, man. Come here. So we dealing with that. Sammy and Saudi is the man. Like I said before, Sammy Uso, man. The whole crowd chanting Sammy Uso. You got Jimmy Uso, like Jay said. You got me, Jey Uso, and you got Sammy Uso. I think it was supposed to ring off harder than it did, but it still went crazy in Saudi. That's another storyline I feel like this is being rushed for some reason. We had all the time to really develop it right, and we had it there, and we already knew where we were getting to. I wish that we had a little more that stuff up in the air, and maybe they can still throw a curveball at us. Maybe Jey is gonna turn heel, maybe Sammy's gonna turn heel. Maybe one of those guys, is gonna turn heel still. But I wish it would have been something like I said before, to where Jey was contemplating whether or not to join up with Solo or stay with Roman. Same thing with Sammy. Sammy didn't have to come to help Jey, or them right now, because Jey had already told Sammy that you wasn't family. So there was already that beef and that tension there. So we could have waited, but we here now, and it is what it is. I wish we would get more digital content from this whole storyline, because if we're rushing stuff, I wish we wouldn't be doing so. We got so many avenues to get content out, it's a perfect example of that with Karrion Kross, like him at his desk drawing, and he commented about the Miz being gone, unalived or whatever the case may be, not wanting to go. To them being like, yo, well, they wanted the Miz, so hey, it is what it is. I don't care, that type of stuff. Like, but we seen that in digital content form, so that's great, and it helps extend the story. So I wish the bloodline stuff used that a little bit more, especially like say when they're jumping around or whatever the case may be. We'll be getting to the next, y'all. Number 5, Dragon Lee, Chad Gable. I wasn't familiar with Chad. I was familiar with Chad Gable. I wasn't so familiar with Dragon Lee's game. Dragon Lee out here, that match, I feel like at times they had real beef going on in that match. Like, they was going crazy with it. Yeah, Dragon Lee going crazy out there. Chad Gable too. Like, it was a great back and forth match. And it ends with Dragon Lee winning. And then it still leaves that same question that I've asked before, is what the purpose of American Made if they're going to lose everything? Insert early in this LWO American Made beef or whatever, this rivalry. But that match, that, like I say, Andrade, Mello, great. Bianca, Io Sky, great. Dragon Lee, Chad Gable, great. I can watch the PLE with those matches right there alone, man. Like, that was a really, really good match to me, in my opinion, man. Dragon Lee is that dude. We been know that Chad Gable is that dude too as well. But man, Dragon Lee, man, I wasn't familiar with your game, but I gotta get familiar now, yo. Like, man, you killed that. Number 6. Okay. Number 6 is how would you book it, right? And for this week's how would you book it is, how would you book Gunther? He lost to Cody Rhodes at Saudi Arabia, Crown Jewel. Cody Rhodes, the first ever men's Crown Jewel champion. The ring general isn't looking so established right now, right? And it's crazy how one loss can do that. Because like before, the World Heavyweight Championship has always been number 2 to the WWE Undisputed Championship because of who held it. It was Roman. Roman held that belt, and first also because he acquired both belts. And then they had to make the World Heavyweight Championship belt because there was no belt on Raw because Roman had them all, you know? And so we established the World Heavyweight Championship. We put on Seth Rollins, the workhorse champion, right? To try to throw some shade at Roman at the time who wasn't working all the days. So, all right, now we fast forward and Cody Rhodes has it. But even when Cody Rhodes put the Undisputed Championship, it seemed like it's closer now. Like it could be even in a sense between the World Heavyweight Championship and the Undisputed Championship. But still, though, you need something to really say, all right, the World Heavyweight Championship isn't number 2. And I think Gunther winning would have made that. But I get it's Cody Rhodes, man. He's a face. He's a baby face of the company right now. Only he's the face of the company. He's one of the top baby faces right now for the company. But that might be debatable. You know, somebody might say that Cody Rhodes is the face of WWE right now. He surpassed Roman Reigns, but I don't know. I don't know yet. So we got Gunther out here, takes that loss to Cody Rhodes, shakes his hand. You know, respect right there. Respect is given. You know, he earned it. He earned that respect. And now we get to Monday Night Raw, and Gunther seems humble. It seems like might have to go back to the drawing board, you know, and see what we're gonna do between Gunther and just how we're gonna book him. And what happened with Dom? Dom beat Damian Priest last week, and I'm gonna get into this next, but he was supposed to be number 1 against Gunther, and it's like, well, how would that even work out? And I feel like if you would have put Dom against Gunther, that would have meant that everyone's going to cheer for Gunther because everyone hates Dom. Then that also leads to opponents for Gunther. You know, like, I just knew for sure we're going to get some type of interaction between Goldberg and Gunther at Crown Jewel. Excuse me. We had that bad blood, and I just knew for sure that was going to lead to a match. And not that I wanted to see it, but it was going to lead to a match between Gunther and Goldberg. But that didn't happen. So now we got this number 1 fatal 4-way for the number 1 contender for World Heavyweight Championship. And even when Jackie Raymond's asking Gunther about the opponents in the lineup for the fatal 4-way, much respect to all of them except for Dom, but you know, it is what it is. But it would have been great if Dom did win, you know. But he gave much respect to all of them, saying, like, you know, we got to do. And even said that, told Ludwig Kaiser that we got to do better. Not just you, but we got to do better as a whole. You know, like, crazy. And I'm not used to seeing that from Gunther, you know. Not that he's arrogant, but rightfully so, because he's Gunther and he's been dominant, you know. Well, I've only seen him take 2 pinfall victories in his time on the main roster, and it's been one from Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, and now Cody Rhodes, at WrestleMania, and now Cody Rhodes is Crown Jewel. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's next for Gunther really going forward, because there was talk about Goldberg, there was talk about Brock Lesnar, and you know we got the return of John Cena coming back, so that too. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen with Gunther. And is Gunther a champion that we want to see wrestle at every PLE? You know, not saying that I want to give him the Roman Reigns schedule or something like that, but I'm cool with seeing the ring general pop in and out every once in a while. You know, not sporadically anything like that, but just I don't need to see him wrestle all the time. That's just me. But let's get into the last topic, y'all. Last topic is that fatal, like I spoke about, that man's fatal four-way for the number one contendership. We had Seth Rollins, we had Sheamus, we had Damian Priest, and we had Dominic Mysterio. My opinion, this was the match that wasn't supposed to happen because Dominic Mysterio beat Damian Priest last week, and Dominic Mysterio was supposed to be the number one contender based off of that. But here we are, right? We got Seth Rollins, who just had this crazy battle against Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel. So you already know that wasn't over. Right? We got Sheamus, who still was having beef with Pete Dunne or Butch or whatever you want to call him. He don't want to be called Butch or Pete Dunne. And he still had some beef with Ludwig Kaiser in a sense too. We got Damian Priest out there, who we already know he got beef with Judgment Day. So it's like all these people going into the match, I just knew for sure. Like I won't say I knew for sure, but I was like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Bronson Reed interfered, Pete Dunne or Ludwig Kaiser interfered, Judgment, Finn Balor interfered in the matchup, you know. And I say you got Dom, man. Dom's with Judgment Day, so it's gonna be some shenanigans because it's Judgment Day, right? Because Dom is out there. So we watching the match, and the match is decent or whatever. And then the monster reappears. He didn't forget what happened to him tonight because he was still standing tall. You know, he was a little bloody, but he was still standing. And so he remembers what happened to him. So he's back and he starts racking shop. Tsunami to Damian Priest, tsunami to Sheamus, tsunami to Seth Rollins on the announcer table. Dom's out there just waiting, trying to, buy his time and sneak and get a victory. But it doesn't happen. Damian Priest still look at like he recovered quick, right? Recovered super quick. South of Heaven to Dominic Mysterio. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest, number one contender for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther comes out, has a face-to-face. Excuse me, once again, still very respectable. Face-to-face. Doesn't really feel heelish in any way at all. And so now we know that Damian Priest isn't going to win because he still got unfinished business with the Judgment Day. I would have liked to see something to where it would have been Damian Priest. If Dom had the number one contender match, that match against Gunther, Damian Priest comes out, costs Dom the match. Then Finn and JD had the match against the War Raiders. Damian Priest comes out, costs them the tag team championships, right? And then we get back to Finn and Damian Priest in their matchup and go from there. But to see Damian Priest back up against Gunther again, and why is he even needed to be in the number one contenders match to have a chance for the title when he lost the title, and now we got a rematch? So when do not rematches matter, and when do we not enforce rematches? I want to execute my rematch. You can't automatically execute your rematch calls when it's needed. I don't know. I don't get it. But this is where we at with it. And this is where we're going forward with it, yo. So, man, thank you guys for rocking with me. We made it through another one. Make sure you guys check Just Laying Down. Told you where you can check them out at. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you give that subscribe button so South of Heaven. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like. You share it. All that great stuff. Check out the reels. Check out the shorts. Check out the TikToks. Check me out on Spotify, Superkick Store. Check me out on Table Lies and Bumps. And until next time, adios. Peace.